In 2000, the stars aligned and the seals were broken and everything came together. Bruce Dickinson and Adrian Smith finally rejoined Iron Maiden, and they put out a masterpiece. But did it have staying power? We've seen reunion albums come and go, and surely falls apart afterwards.
Yep.
Was it a fluke, or were they here to stay?
We shall find out.
Let's find out. Hello, welcome to Maidencast, episode 30. There is no coming back now. We did it. We've made it. We're getting into it. So yeah, last week we had.
That wasn't fucking National Front or fucking White Power, by the way. That's me doing 3-0. So don't cancel us.
We've always had our doubts, but the 10th Dimension by Blaze last week. This week we are doing Dance of Death.
Oh dear, put it away.
Well, we're going to talk about that in a minute.
Yeah.
Yep. Next week we're back with Blaze. Then the week after we'll be doing Bruce's last at the moment. Anyway,
so far, yeah.
Tyranny of Souls. Yeah. This is where I jumped on board. This was the one for me where I was there on release day and picked it up. I kind of jumped on board with Iron Maiden around Brave New World, but this was the one. The new album's coming up. I was there in HMV that morning. At the time I worked, there was a HMV. Literally, I would walk out my building and walk like 10 paces, which wasn't good really. But 10 o'clock was our morning break, and I went straight into HMV, picked up a CD. This is a CD copy. This is the new Digipack. What's it called? Jewel case.
Jewel case, yes.
And I went straight into the engineering workshop, put it on the CD player in the engineering workshop, and I remember playing it along. And with Dance of Death, with the diddle 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 diddle, we know we're in sort of the end of the song as well, when it's really kicking off. And the old boy, John Russell, just walked in and went, "What the fuck is this?" And but there was a couple of old rockers that worked there, and they were listening to it with me, so they kind of went, "Oh, I made it. What's wrong with it?"
Dear.
And this was the first time I saw them live as well, with my good friend here. We saw them at Earl's Court.
Earl's Court.
I can't
remember who supported.
It was Funeral for a Friend.
Fucking hell, there you go. Yeah.
And that was like an up and coming boxer finally gets a shot
at Rocky.
At the title.
Yeah. It was, wasn't it? Because they were creating waves back then.
It was always a thing of who's going to It was kind of a temperature reading of the metal scene at the time.
Yeah,
if
they
you're
had a slate of doing it, didn't they?
That means
they took out the hottest new band on the bill, sort of thing, didn't they?
And then it was like, who's going to be the support? It was always a thing. And then it was like Funeral for a Friend. It was like, fucking hell, they are going somewhere.
Waves, yeah.
And
to be fair, they while they were about, they made some pretty good tracks. To be fair, never had any staying power, but they burned brightly while they was about.
There was a few bands of that time that, and I know how I sound when I'm about to say this.
That's when emo really started to become a thing.
It was funny because emo, when all the fucking decent emo bands had split up at that point. Emo to me is Quicksand.
Oh yeah, but this is when the new
it was,
emo core sort of thing as it is now. Then what we're fucking inundated with on crack and all that.
Took the Helmet and Quicksand, because it was emotional hardcore. That's what actually had, which shortens to emo. And what happened? What that was? It was all the hardcore bands. So your Gorilla Biscuits went on to form Civ and Quicksand. Youth of Today went on to form Shelter. And it was like this kind of post-indie, grungy, post-punk. They basically fed up with making 10 seconds long songs. And I'm straight edge. Yeah. You're a fucking traitor. You stabbed me in the back. You know, over and over again. They actually wrote songs. With hooks and melody and that.
Yeah.
But then the Deftones kind of took that with what they kind of got lumped in with nu metal, but they weren't quite. But then again, no one in nu metal actually admitted to being nu metal.
No, they didn't. I mean,
that's such a great. None of the bands that are associated with it go, no, that was us.
No, yeah.
But then off the Deftones, you had hardcore bands doing the metal, because there was then people that was mixing metal with hardcore. So that was like Integrity. I don't know why the fuck I'm talking about this. Ringworm.
Yeah, it took that off on one.
And then that sort of metal with hardcore, but with the melodic versions of hardcore kind of congealed together, which made what would go on to become metalcore. But metalcore, the golden age of metalcore had come and gone by the time the term came around. I mean,
2003, mate.
The epitome of metalcore, sort of the first Poison the Well album, and
Kill Switch,
the first Kill Switch Engage album.
God Forbid.
I wouldn't have called that, because but the first two metal God Forbid albums were death metal.
Yeah, but actually but that's where metalcore, they would, because they were, it was part of that new wave of American heavy metal movement.
Kill Switch Engage, that was like, right, this is the moment. You sort of Poison the Wells and 18 Visions and all that. That sort of leading up to it. But when Kill Switch was released in Roadrunner, that was like
when they dropped the live, I just breathing, it was boom, wasn't it?
And then they just signed anyone that had the good cop. They call it good cop, bad cop vocals. So and then boom, big singing chorus, and then dun 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 dun. But yeah, and that went completely off on one, like all scenes do. And then anyway, Funeral for a Friend.
Bagwell's cool, yeah.
The thing with Funeral for a Friend, there was a couple of bands of that time. I can go Funeral for a Friend, I reckon 100 Reasons. Sixth, definitely. Where, you go, oh, I only prefer the demos. Yeah, but it was like they put out some fucking exciting demos, which led to some exciting singles, which led to some exciting EPs.
Yeah,
but I always thought they fell short when it came to the album. Yes. Like 100 Reasons album, I was anticipating that like second coming, because they were putting out some really cool stuff. And like Iron Maiden or anyone of that kind, you kind of get like a re-recorded version of the demos that you already had. Yeah. And it was like a culmination of their live set. But 100 Reasons just went bang, everything's new. And it was like,
yeah, no.
Yeah, it don't. And I think Funeral for a Friend did the same thing. Because do you remember they had that song that... and then it kicks in with a screaming and then that to be the last one to sing you that one on the album was like, that's your best song. And they even opened with that song on the on that tour. It was like, that ain't even, why didn't you re-record it for the album, you dickheads? Unearthed, that was another one as well. They remember that one, and we fight. They re-recorded that for the album, didn't they? It was like, because that was on a fucking EP. That
Endless.
That was a good move, re-recording that for the album.
Yeah, but it didn't have the same impact. It's like when Kilgus re-recorded Slut. You fell in love with the first version you hear.
Yeah, but
how it happens, it's just never the same. And that's what happened with Unearthed, because that first version of Endless was absolutely savage.
That was,
never got it again.
When that came on, the pit,
Oh, yeah, but it was ridiculous.
But do you just prefer that version because you heard that version first? That's always my thing, because Gav loves that song, but he never heard the EP. He heard that on the album.
He liked the album version.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's weird, because it's the same song, it's just a different sound. And sometimes they've tweaked it, and you're like, "Whoa, hang about! What you fucking done that for? It sounded better." Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I totally agree with what you're saying, and that's why I got, because you always get the guy who goes, "I prefer the demo."
Yeah,
it's like, I know what you mean, but that can't be a default position on everything.
No, it can't be.
But do you remember? I remember playing that song to Gav, and do you remember the something? So he'd already heard the God, this is really good. And then oh, that's a nice riff. I'm like, wait for it.
So,
and then, and then that classic dun 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 dun. And he was just like, fucking hell, this is really good.
Yeah.
And then it goes round again.
Yeah, it does.
It says something goes and he went, fucking hell, this is really good. And then it goes like
yeah, that's it, yeah.
And you just saw him just explode at that point. And did you ever see that Vince? He's the guy from WWE. He runs WWE or WWE.
Vince McMahon. Where he got the 3 stages. Yeah.
But he's like, I watched Gav do that whilst listening to that song. It was just bang, bang, and then and then just that little lick at it because it's like, this is even better riff. And then just that. And then it even has that sung section in there as well, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
Yeah, that was the fucking perfect song. That was brilliant. But they never really followed it up though, did they? It was like, and then
a couple of good albums.
And then they went we're getting produced by Terry Day, and it was like, here we go. Unearthed have arrived. This is going to be.
Yeah, but it wasn't. They had 2 or 3 excellent songs, but the rest of it was just filler.
Yeah.
You know, so.
But of that crop of bands, I would say they were the best live act.
Fucking hell! I see him at the fucking Barfly. And all I remember was just the absolute ultra violence of the pit.
Yeah.
It was fucking scary. It was like, shit, I can't get any further against the wall out of the way because there was fucking shoes flying and beer and fucking legs. It was crazy.
I saw Sick of It All at the Barfly, and it was so good. It was just like, there's no point in watching them again. I did the Barfly and the Underworld.
Yeah, done.
Yeah, well, unless they play one of them again.
Yeah, what's the point? Yeah.
What's the point? Yeah. And that's Sick of It All, one of those bands as well, where you can take or leave their albums, but they'll take anyone on live.
Oh yeah, they're a bunch of monsters, aren't they? They're so much power.
They're just tight. They just know what they're doing. Just comfortable on stage. But anyway, that was a massive digression. This is
fucking hell, yeah. We've been on
a podcast on Iron Maiden. You are in the right place.
That's it. I mean, once again, we're back with old Kevin Shirley behind the old twiddling the knobs, and I must admit, the sound of this isn't as good as Brave New World for me. Everything's clear, everything's concise, but it's something about it. It's almost like am I hearing it? You know, when you got a cold and you wake up in the morning and your ears are blocked.
Yeah.
When I listen to this album, I'm like, surely it's got to be a bit clearer. It's almost like muddy.
But
you can still hear everything.
That's always been my problem with Kevin Shirley, though, to be honest. Because, I don't know, like I say, the guy's CV speaks for itself. When Aerosmith and Rush and Iron Maiden are all in and out of shoot,
you're doing something right.
Am I not very good? Am I? Yeah. But it's just, I don't know. The thing is, that argument is a bit like if you don't like the food in your restaurant, it's like chef come out again, well, are you a chef? Like, well, that's not the point, is it? I'm the one eating it and
paying for it, yeah.
Yeah, and that's kind of my it was actually Steve Harris that produced it as well, by the way. It was
I think
it was under Kevin Shirley's watch, mind, by the sound of it. He got
involved with it, and I think if you notice again that he never touches anything else again except live albums, because the albums sound better after this. Brave New World sounded fucking amazing. It's best Maiden have ever sounded or ever will sound ever again. This sound went into the shitter a bit, but then when you're back with A Matter of Life and Death, you're like, oh, that's better.
Well, hold on. Let me just rephrase that. I've got the credits here. Steve Harris is the producer. Then you've got 2 other people that are the engineering, and then Tim Young mastering. And then at the bottom it says Kevin Shirley, producer, mixing, engineering, recording. So he must have had that. Yeah, they must. It's all under his watch by the looks of it. So, But I don't know what it is. I always feel
if you go on Wikipedia, Steve Harris's name ain't nowhere near it.
Yeah. Okay. Funny enough, I've got to the end of this book now, obviously, because
that's the latest thing. Yeah.
There was a quick thing from Rod about that. when Martin left, we were a bit of a loss, really. I think that to replace someone you've worked with on so many albums is very, very hard. But in Kevin, I think we finally found that person. The similarities between them are amazing. They both like to have a laugh and a joke as they work, which is very important when working with us. He jokes. This is Steve Harris talking, by the way. Hopefully it'll carry on like that for a few albums yet. While Kevin made a noticeable difference to the sound on the last two Maiden albums, especially the dynamics being captured, Steve, who of course produced both the X Factor and Virtual 11, dickhead, stresses that Kevin doesn't adopt the Mutt Lange style producer's role to become an active songwriter for the band. Neither Martin or Kevin are ever backwards in coming forwards with any ideas. It's just that most of the time they don't need to, explains the bassist. It's great to have the objective outside opinion, though. Also, it's good to have a strong personality capable of getting in among it if there are any disagreements within the band. It doesn't happen often, but when it does, you need that strong personality to put across what they think. And it's a breath of fresh air working with people like that. We arrange all our own songs, and when someone comes in to produce Iron Maiden, it's not producing in the true sense of the word, because we prefer to have a hands-on engineer and not someone who's going to sit there pointing the finger at someone else to work the desk. We want someone there doing that work at hand to capture whatever we've come up with at the time. Having worked with Led Zeppelin and Aerosmith, when did he work with Led Zeppelin? That's one thing that... it would have been...
Well, you can read, I'll have a look.
This band carved out. I wanted to put something in with... Rod Smallwood, here we go. I wasn't happy. Yeah, he talks about the albums that Steve produced. I wasn't happy with Steve producing those two albums, said Rod. My view has always been, you write the songs, you lead the band, so it might be a good idea to have a bit of objectivity and help in there. I still believe X Factor is quite a remarkable record, and it's a shame that people don't give it more of a chance. It's a hard record to get into because there's so much going on, and it's quite dark too. But it was a dark period for Steve at the time. It's brilliant. It's different, to our other records. But it's actually quite phenomenally brilliant too. We've got Rod. Aided by Pro Tools production. I explained all this to Steve and played him the music I'd written. Oh no, hold on. I've skipped a page. They basically does the thing where they literally set up a series of independent recording booths at the same time and capture every single live moment of music that the band make, and having three guitarists record together with the drums and the bass and the vocals, each in separate booths facing one another, enables Kevin to get the best of both worlds. A fired up Iron Maiden high on playing together live in a room while never missing a single take.
Yeah.
Aside from capturing such an exciting atmosphere, it also enables the producer to select the very best individual takes from each musician and patch them all together to get the most exciting sounding version.
Yeah,
which beats playing the same song over and over again.
Yeah.
Getting for the 100th time in search of the mythical perfect take. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, that's the end of that one.
He did How the West Was Won, the live album that they had from recordings in 72. They remastered them for Blu-ray audio and DVD audio and stuff.
Yeah. I thought it would have been something like that. I thought maybe he did that. I thought he may have done that when they did that one reunion at the O2 Arena. Yeah. I thought he might have helped with that or something like that.
Now, speaking of DVD audio, this is what they did for Dance of Death. They remixed it in a 5.1, which I've got in the front room on a shelf.
Yes, yeah, I remember that.
Sounds really fucking good. It's a really good mix. You are getting it, especially if you get a decent pair of headphones as well. Because now, obviously, with like PlayStation and all that, they do headphones that have got like 5.1 and 7.1 where it splits it, and it sounds awesome. You're like, oh fucking hell, there's it's over there, and it's all floating around, and it's really good. Unfortunately, it was a fad, and it never
took on. No,
and it was a bit of a shitter because people are always going, want the best sound, but the thing is, that's when streaming sort of started as well, and Napster and all that fucking shit, and they wanted smaller files, so stuff like that, you can't put that on a computer because it'd take up your fucking hard drive in 5 seconds.
Yeah, I know. Rush have done a couple of reissues recently where you get the album on Blu-ray.
Yeah.
But excuse me. But I think unless you've got a great sound system to begin with, it's kind of...
Yeah, no, you do need to have a decent sound system, otherwise it's just a waste of time.
Yeah. I know Marillion as well, I think, have done it as well. Yeah, it's there for people that want it. I don't know if everyone... I don't know how much... if you're a sound muso, I suppose you're going to do it, but I'm not going to... I'd prefer like a concert or something. I'm not just going to buy it for the... But shall we address it?
Well, yeah. I mean, I didn't actually know when you said me last week after we finished recording. I didn't actually know that story.
Yeah.
But I obviously read it and it was like, oh fucking hell, it's true, shit. How embarrassing is that? I mean, Dickinson apparently is like, fucking hell, what do we do?
Yeah, but I don't get like we've just had this reissue campaign where the whole catalogue, so all the studio albums with 2 live albums have been reissued in these digipacks. They're all
why didn't
presented. Some of them have got... I mean, this is basically exactly the same as the original release, so you don't really get so much. But it's a remaster. They've touched up the artwork and, changed the booklet and things on the earlier albums. This was the opportunity to address this.
To do it. Yeah, if you want to tell the story, Joe, because obviously you...
So the artwork was done by David Patchett. And I'm going to show off now. He's done an Electric Wizard album, but he's mainly known for doing all the artwork for Cathedrals albums. And I'm just going to show him off here. So this is the band's debut album. This is Forest of Equilibrium. Now, if you kind of take in there, so you've got this character sort of walking through a forest.
Yeah.
And then let's try and... Oh yeah, that's there. I'm trying to find the... Fucking hell, this is... Right, so this is the full artwork. So you've got... It's basically the same piece, but inverted. So that's dark.
Yeah.
And that's the light.
Oh, right,
If you actually see it's actually a mirror image.
Oh, right, cool.
So you see it inverted on itself.
Yeah.
And it's symbolic of, walking through the shadow of the Valley of Death or something like that, Right, so then this one's really cool. This is one of their later albums. So this is The Guessing Game. And again, I mean, this is one for vinyl junkies. So if you take note of that little bit there, that is there. And it's a question mark, The Guessing Game.
Yeah, shit, yeah.
This was actually released as a puzzle as well. Is that catching that right?
Yeah, you can see it, yeah. But yeah, it's fucking awesome artwork.
Yeah, and I'll just show this off as well. One last one. This is the second album, The Ethereal Mirror. So you get what the guy's about, yeah? Not quite so elaborate, but this was the last album they did. See, with those last 3, though, in particular, you can kind of see, I suppose that one is a really good one.
Yeah.
You get what they were going for.
And you see what he does, can't you, and what he brings to the table. Yeah,
and apparently this was this is what I'm working on. This is an idea of what I'm going to do. And it's unfinished. It wasn't the official thing, but they, for some reason, just went, yeah, we'll go with that, and just released it to the point where he's actually asked to have his name removed. He's actually disregarded it.
Should have been his fucking crowning achievement, shouldn't it? Fucking made artwork for an Iron Maiden album.
Oh, and by the way, that's a painting. That's not graphic art. That was in the DVD you get with this.
Yeah.
Lee went up into where he lived and had a coffee with him, and he went, "Oh yeah, look," and it's on a thing. Yeah. So that's an actual that's actual artwork. It's not.
Yeah, but like I say, that should be his crowning glory, shouldn't it? He's fucking done the artwork for an Iron Maiden album. They're now like at the forefront of being one of the biggest bands in the world again.
Yeah.
And they want me, fucking yes. And it turns out, and he's like, what the fuck? So to the point where you want to take your name off the fucking album credits. So, I mean, that tells you all you need to know.
Yeah. And what really annoys me is that why didn't they address it now? Why didn't when it came to the reissue? Like, right, let's get this artwork.
Here we go. Yeah, this is hold your hands up and go, look, lads, we know we fucked up. Here's what it should have been.
Yeah.
But, well.
Yeah, I'll forever bang my head against the wall with that one. Because even the backdrop is another one as well.
Yeah. I mean, we can all pretty much agree. I think every Maiden fan who's ever fucking breathed air would agree that is by far the worst artwork they've ever churned out.
Yeah, now there's two ways about it as well. I think the backdrop of the concert, it was done. This is like all digital and I guess early. Yeah. It's not CGI, is it? But it's clearly done on a computer.
Yeah.
But it's done like a painting.
Yeah.
They could have changed it to that, or they could have removed all this.
Yeah.
And just had Eddie on his own with the hooded thing.
Well, that's what they did on the No More Lies EP.
Yes, exactly. So, but then again, Dance of Death, it doesn't really, although Eddie is deaf, so I suppose.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a
bit of a shame. Row, isn't it? You know, absolute row and an embarrassment. I think Dickinson even come out and said it was embarrassing. But makes you wonder what the fuck Steve and Rod were fucking doing. I mean, fucking hell.
You can just imagine as well, like if you are a Cathedral fan, and for those that, if you haven't heard Cathedral, I think they were, if Black Sabbath had the gauntlet,
they passed it to Cathedral, didn't they?
Passed it to Cathedral, because they were a fantastic band. And there was some real, when you go through their albums as well, they kind of started off as this doom laden band. Like the first album's like 6 songs and all like 10 minutes long. They're these slow, Lee was in Napalm Death, and he's doing this.
It's just crazy, isn't it? I mean,
and then the second album, it was like 70s psychedelic.
Yeah. What's the one that's got Hopkins on it? That's obviously the most famous song, isn't it?
Third album, I believe. Yes, that's the third album.
Most famous song.
Yeah, but Vampire Sun, that's a great album as well. But that's a really good, there's real good rocking songs on there as well. And yeah, the riffs fucking, great band. And went a bit proggy here and there, a bit on the later albums, and then they kind of, found their feet, or didn't find their feet, but they kind of reined it all in.
Yeah,
stuck to what they were good at on the later albums as well. But yeah, great, fantastic band. Ended at the right time, I think. They were good enough to go, no, this is. If we stop now, we've got pretty much
got a legacy.
Yeah. But again, I just imagine thinking, I'm a Cathedral fan and then I'm a Maiden fan, and both great artwork. I mean, you'd happily get either of them on vinyl.
Yeah.
And if you're, there wasn't so much back in this time of period, but I'm getting at. And you think, this guy's going to do the new Maiden album. Like, imagine this guy. What's he going to do with Eddie? And you just think, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
But, it's not looking good so far, is it? We've discussed the shit production. Well, not shit production, but the muddy production and the abortion of fucking artwork. Can the music save us?
Yes. The sound, I've been listening to this remaster, and it sounds actually quite. It sounds all right on the remaster, so I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I've listened to 2 versions because in my car I've got a USB drive and I've got the original albums on there. But when I'm at home, obviously I put Spotify on, and all you've got is the remasters. So I have heard both, and they have done a bit with it on the new one, but it's still, because how fucking awesome Brave New World sounded. I mean, that was an absolute revelation for me. But this is, it is what it is, and it ain't never going to change. But 11 tracks. It's one of Maiden's longest, both in song wise and obviously length like running time. And starts off with, as per pretty much every album except the X Factor, starts off with a nice an Iron Maiden song to start with.
Yeah, a nice. Again, it's a hitting the ground running song that basically just sets the tone.
Oh, look, it's written by Adrian Smith and Steve Harris. Tells you all you need to know, doesn't it?
Yeah, and again, I keep saying it, I know, but I can't think of a better analogy. They've kind of got into that formula with the James Bond formula. You have a 5-minute little bit of action at the beginning, and then we have the start, and that's what this is like. It's like a nice little appetizer. Lyrically, it's to me, it's a sequel to Running Free. About being on the open road, and you know, I love the old Nico giving it run, two, 1, 2, 3, 4. You know, anything. Always hearing Nico's voice cheers me up and puts me automatically in a good mood. But yeah, good little song.
Before I forget, I mentioned the No More Lies EP. Have you heard the bonus track, the hidden track?
Yeah, it's Nico singing. Is it the song that he wrote?
No, he's singing Age of Innocence. Oh, it's fucking hilarious.
I'll have to put...
It is fucking hilarious. Because he's not taking it seriously in any way.
Yeah.
It's just Nico, as you would expect Nico to be singing.
Yeah.
Oh, fucking hell.
It's on No More Lies. Because I remember it was...
Because we can discuss it when we do the... We can discuss it properly when we do the B-sides episode. But it's hilarious. They just when you said about Nico,
I knew there was a B-side that Nico sung, but I was thinking, what one was it on? I can't remember what single it was on. And
it was this, but
and there is a song that he contributes lyrics to, and I did think, did they get him to sing that, or was it?
No, that's more T Vigor. That's on this as well. I think it's on the Rainmaker, where Bruce raps. Fucking hell.
He kind of tried rapping on a song on Balls to Picasso, doesn't he? But
yeah, Short the Clowns.
It's not, mind you. It's like,
but I think when he's doing
Bruce raps on that song, or it's like with Machine Head. It's like, Rob Flynn starts rapping. It's like, have you ever play it to someone who actually likes rap music and see what they think? I don't think they consider that rapping. Oh, there's a Slayer song as well, isn't there? On the album music, they say Tom starts rapping. It's like, that's not rapping. Shut the fuck up.
Stain of Mind, or Death's Head, or something like that.
Yeah, it's just a.
No, it's not rapping.
It's just a vocal pattern. It's not rap.
That's it.
Yeah. But again, play that to someone with a 2-pack T-shirt on and go, listen to this, and they go, what the fuck? Yeah,
fuck off.
So
I mean, Wildest Dreams. It's not their best opener for me.
No, it served its purpose at the time, didn't it? It was a good opener, and a good album opener, but. Yeah, it's not something that sticks.
Yeah, it's just a nice free, just 4 minutes of just happiness, good soloing, good playing. More because of the production is better than it's always been. You hear Nico's phenomenal footwork at the end during the last chorus when he double times the kick drum.
Yeah,
and you can hear it constantly going. So again, it's because of Kevin Shirley, you can hear stuff like this now. But no, I mean, when we're talking about great album openers, it's never going to bother Race's Eye, is it? Or Be Quick or Be Dead.
No.
You know what I mean? But not to shit on the song. It's just got a
it's not Wicker Man
to follow, isn't it? Do you know what I mean?
Right. Following on,
what the fuck? We've got a Dave Murray banger at track number 2.
Yeah.
And this is a Dave Murray banger in every sense of the word. This is an amazing song, Rainmaker.
Yeah, I think it's a fantastic song.
Such a great chorus. I mean, the chorus is so fucking catchy and brilliant. I would prefer this to open the album, to be fair.
Yeah, would that open? I can't. Can you imagine just sort of and then just? I think because again, this sort of doesn't have an introduction; it just comes out.
Yeah,
I would say.
Yeah, I can see why they haven't done it.
Maybe like a dam bam bam dun 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 bam 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 dun 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 dun. Yeah, maybe something like that.
It is a good riff, and like I say, the chorus is it's fucking excellent. One of Maiden's best choruses.
Yeah,
and I will say this early. This album has got great choruses coming out of its eyes. Even if some of the songs aren't exactly top notch, like Wildest Dreams, and there's a couple of others we get later, the choruses all stick out. They're all fucking proper earworms. The choruses, and they really nailed the choruses on this.
Yeah,
but this song especially, and
this has a really good a really good music video as well.
Yeah, I haven't seen it for a while, but I do remember it.
Yeah. Because with Wildest Dreams, it sort of started this. It was basically like computer animated.
Yeah,
and
it would be like going down that road, didn't it? And it was always shit animation as well.
Yeah. It was always dated as soon as it came out.
Yeah, it was.
And,
yeah.
I quite like that one, though, with when they were going through all the different stages of computer games. So Eddie becomes like an Atari thingy, and then he upgrades, and it becomes like a Mega Drive. Then it upgrades again, and it looks like...
Yeah, I think it's Speed of Light off of...
that one I quite liked. I thought it was quite clever. But there was another one. I think it's the next album, when it's... I can't even remember what it is now. It's always Eddie running through a thing and then going into this other thing and then leads to another thing, and it all just opens up.
World.
Yeah, and then the Final Frontier one, where you've got that CGI of Bruce, just looks shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then again, Maiden videos.
Maiden videos, yeah. We've said it ever since minute one, haven't we? They don't.
But this one was a good video with the rain and the water and the quick shots of everyone and.
Yeah, I mean they do them. They do them because they have to, don't they?
Yeah.
But this is
an infectious.
Yes,
automatically
that's a very, very good word that sums it up. I think. Yeah.
Yeah, very good, dramatic. The way the song builds up as well. I think the chorus is good, but the vocal melody, carries the song all the way through. Anyway, it tells a story. I quite like the bridge as well. In the cracks in our life, using as well the metaphor of like a dry, barren land that's just, it basically hasn't rained in years, and the rain finally comes, and that's a sort of metaphor for the soul. It needs nourishment.
Or is it a metaphor for Maiden finally coming back after a barren few years of shit music, metals, being reinvented, and the pioneers are back.
Yeah, that's what's cool about it. It's
so right, you like them, don't you, when they're open to interpretation?
Yeah. Right. Moving on then. So we've got two. We've opened up with a 1-2 punch or two dads, followed by a punch.
And
this is the first.
The sole Steve Harris solo composition on the album, which is unusual. Normally he gets a couple in.
Yeah.
This starts off. I mean, this joins the old Steve Harris 7-minute club. He likes doing these sort of songs. But I love the intro. I think it's brilliant, beautiful fucking picking and melody and stuff like that. And the keyboards are subtly there. And this album has a lot of keyboard on it.
The keyboard is more apparent on this remaster as well, just like it was with X Factor. It's normally sort of lurking in the background. It's like it doesn't always need to be.
Sometimes
make it part of the song. It's not. Yes. I can, you weren't worried about it with Somewhere in Time and Seventh Son. So why is it always put right in the background now? Yeah, and that was one of the things that always annoyed me with X Factor. I think it was Look for the Truth, when that quiet bit where the keyboards just go, but it's so far in the background. You're like, can I even? Is it even there? Am I
there? Or, it's almost like subliminal messaging, isn't it? It's like,
but they're definitely they've definitely turned it up for the remaster, which I think that album sounds like it always should have sounded.
Yeah.
Because you would always have to turn that one up a bit more. Yeah. And you don't have to on the remaster, but I
mean, this is a typical Steve Harris song in every sense of the word, because we've got some brilliant music. It's the length, and we've also got a Steve Harris chorus. We all know what they are by now.
A Steve Harris chorus. The Steve Harris. One. Yeah.
Well, I don't know what to write for a chorus. Oh, fuck it.
What's just sing the song called? Just repeat that over and over again. Apparently inspired by The Last Supper as well, lyrically. I was reading the lyrics and trying to get a kind of. It's like, is this the end of a relationship, or is this because
you bastard?
Yeah,
you fictional bastard, you.
This is a great line. There's a darkening sky before me. No time to prepare.
Yeah.
Ooh, atmosphere. Yeah. Salvaged on the horizon, but no regrets from me. Maybe I'll come back another day to live again. What can I say in a show? But it's kind of like a.
Yeah, you haven't said that. I can. Just by reading those lyrics, I can see how that's Last Supper, sort of religious overtones to it. Because he's had a bit of a love and hate relationship with religion, hasn't he, old Steve? He's always questioning.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you know my thoughts on it, but Steve has always been. He's always questioning his place in the world. Is it a plan? Is it fucking this? Is it, is there a higher power? Is it just are we all just doing it of our own free will? He's always questioning stuff like that, and he does write good lyrics.
Yeah, and I think the stories do have a lot of resonance and a lot of value, and I think if you do separate, they've in a lot of things I've been listening to and reading as well, it's gone. You would never actually meant to agree with this fully. So there's an old Hebrew word which means to struggle with God. Like you're meant to read it and go, hold on, what? It's meant to challenge you, and it's meant to make you think. You're not meant to just go, yeah, right, that's right. Which is, I think, a lot of problem with religion today. But that Last Supper story when Jesus, he is arrested. Because that Last Supper, he knows it's the last one, but the others don't.
No one else do,
So that's where these lyrics sort of make sense. It's just a lot of people don't realise what that. I didn't even. But when you reassess it, it's like, right, that's a pretty cool element. He knew what was going to happen, and that's when he says to him, before the cock crows twice, you're going to deny me thrice.
Yes, yeah.
And then when the guards go, is this your, and he goes, I've got nothing to do with him. I don't know him. Yeah, no, I don't know him. And then the last man, so you'll deny me thrice. As soon as he says it the third time, he hears a cockerel because the sun starts rising and the cockerel starts screaming. And he goes, that's what he meant. Great little things like that. And, the only thing is the No More Lies chorus, because I'm thinking, but where was that from? Because he sort of says, I'm going to go away and I'm going to come back.
Yeah.
And then there'll be no more lies. Maybe that's, the resurrection.
Yeah, perhaps,
But then you can kind of use that as you can kind of go, right, after this sort of period, it sort of says to me as well, you're going to fess up to something and you've done wrong, but then afterwards it's like I'm improved because of it, because I've learned from a mistake.
Yeah.
So it could be addressing, I think we all lie to ourselves in certain things. Maybe I'm not getting that fat. I don't drink that much.
That won't get seen on the internet, like we were talking about earlier. That won't get seen on the internet, like we were talking about earlier.
That won't get seen on the internet, yeah. So I think we all have that little thing, but once, no, I'm going to address this and I'm going to solve it and I'm going to overcome it. And after that, no more lies, no more excuses is a great little way of looking at it as well.
Like I say, he does write a good lyric, Steve.
Yeah.
And but you can interpret it so many different ways, but he has married it. I mean, I suppose the criticism of the song, does it need to be 7 minutes? Possibly not.
I don't think it does any harm.
But he could trim it, but it's like I say, I do like the song, but
I think most of the length is the introduction as well. It does take
there's a lot of, obviously you've got about 2 or 3 minutes of that, but when it kicks in quite heavy, doesn't it?
And once it gets to where it's going, it's there. And I think it's a well-structured song. It's got a great atmosphere as well, and when the no more lies,
quite heavy, it's comes out
little. I like that little riff as well. And then and then of course at the beginning you have that very subtle but then later on that comes back round.
Yeah, it comes back in heavy, doesn't it?
Yeah. I think this is really great, and I think this is a great so far. 3 songs in. Again, we've opened
3 good songs.
A nice 1-2 punch. Just like Ace's. I mean, this doesn't match Ace's High and 2 Minutes to Midnight, but that is the great way to open an album with a bum. Then we go into something a bit big and a bit.
Yeah, but with Power Slave, it fell off the fucking wall by doing Lost for Words, which was a pointless instrumental. Whereas this actually, you got a bit of merit to No More Lies. It's a good song.
But Wildest Dreams might not be up there with Ace's High, but I do think Wildest Dreams and Rainmaker are quite good.
Yeah, no, they complement each other. They complement each other well.
Yeah.
And then you go somewhere completely different for your track 3, which, like I say, it's a good way. The album's
and the way this album is set out, it is like that. It is like it does go in stages. It sort of works up to an epic, and then start again, and then it works up to another epic. It is. You can even see it from the times of the songs when you've got the track listing. It is like it's like a trilogy of trilogies in a way. Yeah.
That's it.
So
Montségur. Forgive me if I butchered the obviously the pronunciation, but this song, oh fuck me.
I'm glad it's not just me. Yeah.
I don't. Maiden are my favourite band of all time. They are the geniuses. They are the masters. They will never be surpassed. But when they get it wrong, oh my fucking days, do they get it wrong? It's like they try and it's like they do it on purpose. It's like we've been awesome. How can we fuck it up? But the thing is, this song starts off really well.
It's good stuff in the song. I really like that main melody. That because it's played on the guitar, and that sticks in your head.
But all for all the wrong reasons. I mean, when it kicks in, it's fucking heavy as fuck. It's Yannick's first contribution to the album, and it's fucking monstrously heavy. Even the verses are good, but when that fucking melody kicks in, I can't even bring myself to fucking.
And it's not only that as well.
When Bruce and the guitar go together, oh fucking hell, it's hideous.
That opening riff as well. That's a bit like Lost for Words as well, or maybe a bit of Eagles there. But
no, it is. It's really sort of gallopy, and
it really seems like there's loads of stuff in this, but they didn't quite. And it's like not only that. It's like right, we've run out of time on the album. Or I'm not gonna. We can't lose any songs because look at the way they all the runs. We're not cutting nothing off.
Yeah.
Right, fuck it then. Masuga.
Yeah.
What we'll do then, we'll play that twice as fast, and then it'll fit.
It's
like everything's being crammed in, and even the chorus.
Oh, that's fucking horrible.
And it's just
horrible.
It's like he's cramming in all these words. And again, I can't pronounce this. I still never quite knew what this song was called.
Yeah, Montségur. It's
and even when he says it, you go, "What?" I know he just said the title of the song, but I still don't know what he said.
Yeah,
and
Montségur. It's basically it's phonetic for one time for French. It is Montségur.
Yeah,
but yeah, it's about one of the Pope waged a 20-year campaign and something like that. But it's a Maiden historical, epic. They like doing them. And
no, there's nothing wrong with that.
Fascinating story, but
if you read the lyrics on their own, I'm sure they're perfectly good
fascinating.
But there's something
musically, it's a fucking abortion.
Yeah, it's just a weird song, and it's just.
But the thing is, I know, I'm not going to blame Yannick for this one because I know how the relationship with Yannick and Steve works. Because basically Yannick writes most of the music, but Steve writes the melodies. So full well that all that heavy stuff is Yannick.
Yeah.
But those hideous melodies and vocal lines come from Steve. And it's like, oh, fucking stop it. But I really can't. I hated it upon first listen.
Yeah, I've never.
I thought for this, I'm like, no, I'm going to fucking sit through it and I'm going to listen to it. And I wanted to pull my teeth out.
Yeah, it is. It is like tinfoil on the back on a film,
Yeah, that vocal melody with the guitar. Oh, Jesus Christ! It's fucking hell.
The chorus just doesn't. It just falls flat for me, and it feels like it's rushed. It feels like he's trying to cram the lyrics in.
Like you're trying to cram it all in, and oh fucking hell! It should not be on the album whatsoever.
Right.
And this is this album's quest for fire.
Yeah,
that's how fucking shit it is.
Yeah, this is a very mixed album, but it does have its moments, but it does have its redeeming features as well. And the redeeming features do more than make up for it, I'll say, going forward. But should we move on to Dance of Death?
Moving on to Dance of Death, which is, in my humble opinion, one of their greatest ever songs. And this is why Yannick Gers is in the band. All these fucking arseholes who go, oh, Yannick, what's he in the band for? He's in the band because he writes songs like this. No one writes songs like this. Yannick writes songs like this. This is fucking 8 minutes and 36 seconds of pure genius. I can't go on about how good this song is enough. And one of the melodies in between the second and third solo comes in about 5 minutes 16.
Yeah, great.
Fucking hell! My hair's on the back of my neck stand up whenever I hear it, and I just stood up then with me just doing that. That is one of their finest ever bits of music, and it is one of the finest bits of music ever committed to fucking vinyl. Such a great song, and probably the best title track they've ever done.
Yeah, the lyrics are based on a film called The Seventh Seal, which was in the black and white film, come out in the 50s.
Ingrid Bergman or something, isn't it, I think?
Yeah, have you ever seen it?
No, I've obviously read about it on this. Proper.
I read it. I watched it. The imagery conjured up from this is it made the film sound a lot better than it was. I'll tell you one thing though. Have you seen this image of it's sort of like a hill, so it's sort of silhouettes. So it's just black figures really, and it's people joining hands. It's like they're walking over this hill.
Yeah,
like they're all joining hands, and then someone's got like a tambourine. But at the front is the Grim Reaper. So it's like the Grim Reaper's leading
them off, yeah.
That came from this film.
Oh, right, cool.
Which is when you see this, I'll have to find the image and share it with you. In fact, if you've heard of the book Catch-22.
Yeah.
There's a sequel to that book by Joseph Heller, and I can't remember the title for it, but that was the front cover of that book as well.
All right.
Yeah, and you kind of so Grim Reaper, that's Eddie, and then the figures, you kind of see where he gets the thing for the front artwork. Cover.
Yeah.
Bit of Wicker Man in there as well, I think. Yeah, right. I don't like this song.
Really?
Yeah.
Fucking hell, that's mad, isn't it? How I've just proclaimed it to be one of their top 10 songs ever.
Oh.
You know, they'd probably never write another song better than it. And you're that's crazy. You're struggling with it.
Yeah. I've never. Well, when the legend John Russell walked into the engineering room and went, "What the fuck is this?" I kind of knew what he meant. That riff annoys me, and it goes on.
The old jig riff. And
when it kicks in, don't get me wrong, the song has good stuff. I
thought you'd be all over it because.
And then Bruce, let me tell you a story. I love it, and
because the orchestral stuff, I thought you'd be on it. I mean, this is
beautiful British sort of folklore tale coming up, and you see the atmosphere, you know. But mate, one word, Stonehenge.
Really?
No, yeah, it's fucking Stonehenge. Play the song Stonehenge and then
I know the song. Fucking hell.
Yeah. And you just think, oh, for fuck's sake. And I kind of get it because you want the dance. You're conjuring up the dance. I get it. Yeah. I mean, story-wise, it's the same story as Number of the Beast as well.
Yeah.
I walked alone. My mind was blank. And then, you know, he's come across something. What's that? And then what he sees, it hypnotizes him and draws him in. It's a great little story. But I just, it just fucking, something about it pisses me off. And there's some really good songs on this album. And for some reason, this is the one that survived the set list. And it's a song.
Made next tour, didn't it?
Yeah. And it's just like, I'm going to go get a beer, I think. The queue's probably, hopefully there's not too much of a queue in urinal as well. Do you want anything? Yeah. Okay. All right. It's that with me. I love the but I do love that.
That melody is fucking.
It's great. And even at the end, it was like there's brilliant solo section, this great climax, and I just thought, now I just go bang. That would have been a good way to end it. But no, you're going to play it another 3 fucking times. And Bruce is even going to try and sing along to it. When you're running in your bed and and he only ever does it once because he knows I'm fighting a losing battle here. This ain't going to work. But they still kept that one line in. And yeah, and then Bruce fucks off and comes back on with a cape and starts fucking spinning around like I'm not like. Yeah, fucking no.
Fucking hell, it's crazy, isn't it? And you have two such different opinions of the same song. Mad.
I kind of see a good song in there somewhere, but that that riff just fucking annoys me. Yeah. So
fucking hell.
We've started off well, but yeah, things have getting a bit...
See, for me, we started off well. It fell off the planet, and then it went into the fucking stratosphere, like, you know.
Yeah.
But obviously, you're diving deeper, aren't you?
But I know it's obviously become part of the repertoire. It's obvious. I mean, it works good live, I suppose. I mean, it gets the crowd going. The band seem to enjoy it. I mean, I think I watched the theatrical version on the Dance of Death, and then I watched it again in vivo.
Yeah.
And I think I preferred the in vivo version without the theatrics. It seemed to work a bit better. I don't know, but oh god, I just don't like it.
Yeah, it's been a while since I've done the Blu-rays. I'm gonna have to go back and revisit.
I haven't watched the entire concert. I've watched some YouTube clips just to get my head around it. But no.
But no, that's fucking mad, because that melody, that fucking hell, I'll tell you, that's the old hairs are sticking up just thinking about it now. That's how fucking much I rate the song and all that. And when it double times at the end, I think that's brilliant. When they go fucking proper playing his arse off.
Yeah, it's just never. Even at the time, I remember thinking, I'm not sure I like this.
Fucking hell. Right. Yeah. Let's
so move on.
Gates of Tomorrow. Now this is a strange old song. This another Yannick, Steve, and Bruce composition.
You can hear Yannick at the beginning because he's got that Lord of the Flies.
Yeah, it's got that weird sound. Exactly. Yes, that same guitar tone. But this is a weird one. I mean, this is another one of those songs that filler's the wrong word. It's an album track, I think. Yeah. But it's got a really, really catchy chorus, like I was talking about earlier.
Yeah, this is to me.
And I've heard it's about them being worried about the internet. They're trapped in the web and all the rest of it. I've read this step back there because the internet was really starting to get prominence about now, when it 2003.
Yeah.
And the Gates of Tomorrow, they're opening up. This is the future, but it's sort of a cautionary tale.
Yeah, I mean, Chuck Schuldiner, I think, predicted a lot of things with 1,000 Eyes. I don't think he realised quite how right he was. But I remember watching an interview with David Bowie, and he was saying, this is truly, truly exciting. And but he says it's also quite terrifying because it could go one way or the other.
Yeah. And
he said, he went, the opportunities and the potential is just endless, and it's amazing. He went, however, this could come back and bite us on the arse. He went, and I think it's someone like, not Jeremy Vine, Jeremy Paxman's going, does that stupid look he does when anyone says what they actually mean.
Yeah.
Goes, what, you actually think that? And he went, I really think it. He went, from an artist's point of view, I potentially don't need a record label anymore. Like he was saying, like an artist can just put it out there.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Because a record label's job is to put things in shops.
Yeah,
you don't need the shops
now, does
there.
It? Yeah.
He went, so, and he went, and the information that you can get hold of, he went, like, you would have to go to a university or a special school in order to read certain books or get taught certain things. He went, but you could just look it up. It's there. You can educate yourself. Because David Bowie was a forward-thinking man as well. I mean, he was always sort of thinking sort of one step ahead, and he sort of said like and it was really, he really sort of gets impassioned when he said it. Went, I know the possibilities are endless, and this is a really, really amazing, truly exciting time. He went, however, it could also be the undoing of us. We'll see. Funny you mentioned that.
It's a cautionary tale, without a doubt. But
no, I like this song actually. I mean,
it's sort of a nice upbeat.
I'm at that stage now where I like the songs that I haven't heard a million times. Like I as much as I love this band, I could, if I never heard The Trooper again.
Oh yeah.
I think I'd be that bothered.
Yeah.
And I'm all about at the moment just finding the hidden gems, and I think this is a nice little hidden gem. No, it's not their greatest song, but if you do like the songs where they do just get on with it, your 2 Minutes to Midnight, your Lord of the Flies. This is a nice little one. This is a nice little 5 minute straightforward rocker that you haven't heard a million times, that you might want to dig out and dust off and play when you fancy something just a bit different. And
that's it. It's would always remember sort of skipping this when it first came out, but when I've been listening to it now, I've sort of gained appreciation for it. It's like, oh, fucking hell, this is really, it's nice, catchy, it's an head bobber. It's, you're tapping the steering wheel sort of thing, It's, and like you say, if you was at a gig and they started fucking doing this intro, you'd be like, fucking hell.
Yeah. And that's the thing with this album. I think there's a lot of songs on this album that it's known for, but it's like none of the stuff that they didn't play live.
Yeah.
And the stuff that you didn't really focus on, that's where the real gold is on this album. It's kind of simultaneously overrated and underrated at the same time. So I, think that's pretty much everything I've got to say on this song.
No, it goes tomorrow. I mean, you can't. It just keeps the album. It keeps it running along nicely, doesn't it? It's
palate cleanser. There you go.
Yeah.
Moving on to the next level, though, I think New Frontier kind of springs off this album, but then just ramps everything up slightly.
Yeah, it does.
It's another.
And it features our first ever writing credit on an album from our favourite drummer.
Yeah. And
this all stems from his newfound God-fearing ways, because he's a born-again Christian, isn't he?
Yeah.
And he what I like about, because my thoughts on religion, I can't stand it. But when Nico's a sort of religious person I like, because he said, in my opinion, I believe. He classifies it with his opinion, and he's not trying to force it on anyone else. But he says, I believe that only God can create people and therefore and give them a soul. So, because this is written about cloning and what he fears about cloning and all the rest of it.
Yeah.
And to be fair to him, he's got a point. But
I fully agree.
It's only his opinion. He's not trying to force it on anyone else. And fair play to the guy.
No, I fully agree. And I don't think you need to be religious in order to
have a bit of a fear about it. No, you don't.
Yeah, because I think we can all agree that we have a soul, whatever that is.
Yeah, whatever it is.
The soul is what makes you you.
Yeah.
And you're not just blood and bone and flesh.
No, there is something in there, isn't there? Like,
yeah, there's that unique personality, and you can say it from a religious point of view or a scientific point of view. Yeah. There has never ever been anyone quite like you, and there will never be anyone,
and there never will be,
and there'll never be another.
There can be someone looking like you, but what makes you is
and
somewhere,
for better for worse. But there has never been a you before, and there will never be a you again. And I just think that's where I disagree with the scientific thing, because they just kind of reduce everything to a chemical reaction or a pattern. And what makes a human a human? We've just made one in a lab. It's like, but it's not human, is it?
Yeah.
It never will be. And this, I can sort of see the thing for cloning, because it's like, because it gets a bit dark. It's like, if we just have this body that's not conscious or breathing, but we can take the organs, and that organ transplant's done.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah,
we'll be like getting an operation. We'll be like going to Quick Fit. Oh, we've got a spare one on the thing.
Oh no, there is.
But,
but those things, stuff like that.
Yeah,
there's never.
It does go.
The ethics of it, isn't it? There's always going to be some nefarious fucking shitbag who wants to. Utilize it.
Yeah, that's the thing, and I do think and God forbid, but say you did lose a child or your wife.
Yeah.
And don't and we're 100 years in the future, so
the thought that you could just sort of from their fucking hairbrush you can make a new one.
Yeah. Hello, Mr. Nash. Yes. We've got some good news and some bad news. Unfortunately, your wife. We attended a wreckage, and your wife had been unfortunately killed in a car crash. That's all right. Don't worry. We've managed to stick some fucking wires in her head, and her brain's alive.
Yeah.
We're downloading all her memories and her thought onto this hard drive.
Yeah.
We took her blood. We took some hair and blood, and we've got her DNA's all on a thing.
Yeah, and we're going to make
a clone is being made right now, and in Friday in an Amazon package.
Yeah.
Your
your
new wife is going to be so it's fine. So you just have to do about it for 5. But we've got her, and she's perfect to the point thingy of DNA, and her brain and her thingy waves has all been downloaded. And as an added bonus, we've put some serum in her, and she will never get cancer.
Yeah, but it's.
I don't give a fuck. That will not be.
No, it's not, is it?
And you'll know it. And
exactly.
There's this great little. Did you see the Blade Runner sequel?
No, I haven't. No,
it's a bit of a mixed bag. It's not quite great, but there is some good ideas in it. But have you seen? Are you a fan of Blade Runner?
Yeah, no. I mean, I haven't.
You know who Rachel is?
Oh yes.
Right. So it all comes to a bit of a climax, and the corporation they confront Deckard. He's Deckard, isn't it?
Deckard.
Harrison Ford. And they try and buy him.
Yeah.
And Rachel comes out and like, because Rachel's dead in the sequel.
Yeah.
Sorry, any spoilers, but it's been out long enough.
If you ain't seen it yet, yeah.
And they've gone like, here she is, and Rachel's there, and she's like, we can be together again, and she's crying and blah blah blah. And then there's this point, is he going to turn? And Deckard just pulls out a gun, and just points it to her, like, bang, and just blows her away. And he just looks at her and goes, her eyes were green. Brilliant, defiant moment. And but again, this I love this subject because you can go back and forth with it. But it was actually this nailed on the head. It's Frankenstein.
Yeah, it is. Yeah,
because Elizabeth, isn't it? Elizabeth when Victor comes clean with what he's done. And Elizabeth goes like, "What the fuck are you trying to do?" Because that's not what she actually says.
Yeah, but
you've not accepted the death of your mother. Death is inevitable, and you need to accept it because look what you've gone and done and created in the thing. He goes, "Yeah, but I've created life."
Yeah,
and she went, "You could have created life to begin with. All you had to do was give me a baby."
That's it. Yeah.
And she's like, "You've gone." She went, "I've been waiting for you all this time, and all you had to do was." What you had to do.
But yeah.
This is a children's show. I'm not going to detail.
Yeah, that's it, yeah. Birds and the bees.
Yeah, and it's true. It's like we're looking at all these different things when the answer was there. We can already do it. Why do we need to create it in a lab? And then you go into the Brave New World thing, which again I mentioned a few episodes ago.
Yeah.
I've reread recently, and actually to me it's a horror story. It's not it's not a utopia at all. It's a complete horror show where that as well. So if we've gone completely off on one now, sorry.
Yeah.
Again, it's the emotional thing, because if you've got, if your wife's pregnant and you've got all that hope and all that, anxiety as well, because you've got a million thoughts going through your head when you hear that news. But if a doctor said, if I could give you an injection now and that baby will never have anything, it would be perfectly healthy. We can guarantee it'll never get cancer. You go, oh, this is good. Yeah, all right, do it. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. We can choose the colour of the eyes as well if you want. We can actually make it it won't be ugly either. Go on in. At that point, you're going, well, is this baby even?
Yeah. You'd all take the no disease thing, wouldn't you? But it's after that,
it's always one for, and I think. It's a great, fascinating subject, and I think you don't have to necessarily be religious to.
No, that's it. But
anyway, great song.
Because the song is actually pretty fucking good, and makes you wonder why Nico doesn't write more, or did he just have a fucking brainwave or something that?
Or did he just write the lyrics? That was no.
That's what I mean. I don't know. He must have had a beat or something in his head. Otherwise, he wouldn't be the first name on the thing.
Yeah.
He must have wrote the majority of the music to be credited first.
He's never done it again either, has he?
No, he hasn't. This is his one and only. He's been on the fucking B-sides and all that shit. Yeah. Nodding Donkey Blues and all that bollocks. But but no, I mean, and this song is fucking great, and the chorus is like, again, another fucking chorus that just sticks in there.
Yeah.
And drills its way in. And the solo, because you had that bit in the middle, don't you? It's like dun 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 dun.
Yeah.
And then fucking Adrian Smith comes in with that dive bomb, and then, fucking the solo sort of rears up. You imagine with a fucking old whammy bar giving it all this, and then just launches into a blistering solo. Such a good section of music.
Yeah.
No, but the whole song is a great, just fucking in your face rock song. Not rock song, metal song, Maiden metal song, and it's brilliant.
Yeah. I think again, it's another underrated gem. And I think also it's kind of, we're quite quick to point the finger at sort of religious people saying, you've got a bit of a God complex, but it's like, well, this sort of asks the question, well, which one which one does have the God complex, because you're playing God if you're playing with this sort of stuff, you know. Cursed by the angel who fell, who saves me from hell. Oh no, that's not the I'm trying to find the out beyond the new frontier, playing God without mercy, without fear, create a beast, made a man without soul. Well, that's Frankenstein.
Yeah.
Was it worth the risk? You know, a war of God and man. But yeah, no, great. You're not just getting people say, you know, metal's not sophisticated and it's not,
it's
all just dumb. It's like, well,
when metal fucking, you know, it's
Ed Sheeran's never wrote a song like that, has he?
Exactly, that's right.
Coldplay.
You know? Fucking Rihanna and all that bullshit. You know, it's what it is.
Yeah.
But again, this is we're building up to. This is a great way to sort of build into the next track, which is
a 1-2 punch followed by
followed by a massively underrated and underappreciated epic.
Yeah.
Right. And written by an unusual suspect, Adrian.
Yeah.
This is his first go at an epic. He actually consciously said, I want to write a fucking... I think he said, I want to actually write an epic, like, you know. So he's got together with Steve and they've created this fucking balls out, certifiable fucking song that would be so good on this Maiden at the Royal Albert Hall with the London Philharmonic.
Yes. Yes.
Wouldn't it? I mean, you can imagine it. Fucking hell. It would be the heaviest song ever.
Right. I'm going to get a bit controversial here.
Go
on. I'm going to make a bold statement, and it's one it's a hill I'm going to die on.
Yeah, go on.
As far as war epics go, this is better than Metallica's One.
Yeah, I'd say that.
Yeah. And that song is a masterpiece. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
And there's a reason it's played every single show.
Yeah.
And the bigger,
and it is a live spectacle as well.
And the bigger the budget, with the lights and the the fire at the beginning, the guns. I'm comparing it to One because both is World War One. Passion Day was World War One, wasn't it?
Passion Day was World War One. Yeah.
Right. I had a bit of a fucking. I was like.
Yeah, no.
When you go and say something out loud, you go, "Hold on a minute."
Is that right? No, this is this is right. Yeah.
And One was set at World War One.
Yeah, because it was
Was that World War One?
It was. Yeah, I think so.
Because he stands on the mine, doesn't he?
And, he does. Yeah.
So that's based on a book called Johnny Get Your Gun.
Johnny Get Your Gun. Yeah. That's a frightening story. That is, mate. Imagine being locked away and not being able to do anything.
Yeah.
Scary.
Well, it's again a bit like New Frontier. It's right. We know this much, and we can do that.
Yeah.
Should we?
Yeah.
And it's it's that question, and yeah, you can imagine being locked inside your own.
Yeah, not being able to do anything about it. It's fucking scary because they're competing by Morse code. But speaking of Morse code, apparently that's what Nico's cymbal taps are.
Oh, really?
Yeah, well, I can't confirm it. I don't know Morse code. I've read it today. It could be bollocks. If it's bollocks, it's bollocks. But if it's true, it's ingenious. And I have to wonder what it would say.
It's a hidden detail.
Because it is so specific. Because the entire intro of the song is off time. It's not out of time, but it's off time, and it's all. You've got very many things going on. But they all sync
that
together.
little riff as well. Like when you see when you see like a shot of a film when it's sort of looking up, but then kind of twists and then goes down. Like it kind of unwinds like that, doesn't it? Yes. It's kind of, or when you zoom out of a thing from a bird's eye view, but then do it like twisting round.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, it kind of follows like that. I rewatched this as well, and it's just epic is a word that's thrown. People describe chicken wings as epic nowadays, and we really do. We really do need to address our use of language because, that was a monumental performance, and to my knowledge, they've never done it. They've never done it live apart from that one tour.
Yeah,
and this is a monumental piece of work.
Oh, it's amazing.
And I think it should be recognised as one of the greatest pieces of music written by this, in these aisles, because
big time.
I mean, you don't even need Iron Maiden to perform it with an orchestra. I think an orchestra should play this song.
Do it, yeah. That's it, yeah.
I imagine this at a war memorial concert.
Oh yeah, be amazing. The lyrics as well. The lyrics are poetry because this is when Bruce really started.
If Andrew Lloyd Webber fucking wrote this, it would be.
He started it. I mean, Bruce didn't obviously write the lyrics. Steve did, but it started here and it was perfected on A Matter of Life and Death with doing the war songs, the old Maiden epics. But they're making them actually stories. Then they're like fucking the musical poems because the lyrics are fucking. I mean, the chorus, "War, far from home, a chance to live again." But then the next line is, "Far from home, no chance to live again," sort of thing. And the way they work, it's fucking brilliant. And and also the fact that this is written by a guy who loves a 3-minute hit single and wants to be Bruce Springsteen. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You listen to ASAP and that.
Yeah.
And you listen to that, then you listen to this, and you're like, fucking hell, it's the same guy. I mean, Adrian Smith doesn't get the love. He's the guy in the background. You've got Dave Murray fucking searing the fretboard off. You've got Yannick spinning around and all that. But Adrian's just there.
No, I think Adrian gets quite a lot of kudos.
No, I mean, it's weird. He's not, perhaps that's the wrong way to word it, but like I say, on stage, you've got Dave fucking smiling and searing his fretboard off all the time.
Yeah, he does have a permanent smile.
Yannick's running around fucking having
fun. Has Dave Murray ever had the ump? Has he ever been angry? He's always smiling.
That's it. And like I say, Yannick's running around having fights with Eddie and all this, but Adrian's just there, standing by the mic, ready to do the bit of backing vocals. And he's
I see what you mean.
Consummate fucking professional, such an amazing. And he's a London boy. Fucking have it, one of ours. Do you know what I mean? Him, Dave, and Steve, they're all fucking local lads. Oh, Nico as well. It's only Steve. There's only Bruce who's a.
Well, Yannick's a foreigner, but yeah.
Yeah, Bruce and Yannick from being up north. But that's
sorry, anyone up? No, it's only a joke.
That's it. A bit of Southern pride coming in, but no,
exactly. You give it out quick enough.
Yeah, that's it. But the fact this is written by Adrian, it blows my fucking mind because the versatility of the guy is unreal.
Yeah.
And and this song, like you say, it doesn't get the love it deserves because everyone will say it's a fucking great song and all that, but it should go down as. I mean,
It was a centerpiece of the live show, but then that was it. It was just like that
one and done, yeah.
Like the back thing, it just got stripped down and put into a factory or warehouse or whatever.
I mean, I don't pay a lot of attention to Kerrang nowadays because it's a fucking load of bollocks. It's like smash hits.
It is. It's smash hits.
They did a thing of the 20 greatest Maiden songs ever, and I was like, oh, here we go. Let's read this. This was at number 10. They said it's by far the fucking, and it smattered songs throughout the history, but they said this is by far the best song Maiden have written since the Reformation, and I can't.
Yeah, I might fully agree, but certainly don't disagree.
No,
yeah.
It's an arguable point.
And I just said it's fucking better than one, so yeah.
And one is this revered fucking classic song that will always be in any countdown of great metal songs. But Passchendaele, I mean, fucking hell. The strings, the musicality, the arrangements, the dynamics. Where you're going from quiet to loud. It's like being on the battlefield. Yeah. You can imagine it. You're like, waiting for it, and then fucking here it is, and it's a monumental piece of work, mate.
Yeah, I think Nico drives it as well. I think he's drumming. His drumming on this album, No,
it's fucking weird. I've said it again. I've said it before. I'll say it again. You never notice Nico's drumming until Brave New World, or until X Factor, when he had a bit of beef behind his kit, but it wasn't a great produced album. But as soon as he got a decent producer, Nico's drumming on Brave New World and on this album, and then indeed every album since, it's fucking ridiculous. And he's been doing that all that time. Yeah, you just haven't been able to hear it because he's been so low in the mix, or just an afterthought. I mean, it's only when you hear him live now, when he's got a decent drum sound, you can hear the fucking work he does on the Trooper and stuff like that. It's phenomenal. He's one of the greatest drummers to ever fucking do it.
Oh, of course, yeah. I'd back you 100% for that. And but yeah, again, I don't know. I think we could do a podcast on this song as well, because every time I've listened to this, I've been looking forward to when it comes on. Yeah. And it just stirs you emotionally as well. I mean, when you read about the war as well, if anything, it makes me angry. What those boys went through, and they were boys.
Yeah, they were sold a lie, weren't they?
Yeah,
and it was fucking, no, most of them never lived past the first whistle.
Yeah.
Come on, lads, over the top, off you go. What the fucking hell for?
Half hour. Yeah, sorry, I'm getting
getting nagged. Yeah. But you know, like you say, they died for nothing, really. For you know what summed it up best? If you watch an episode of Only Fools and Horses, where they build the nuclear fallout shelter.
Yeah.
And Grandad's talking about Passchendaele.
Yeah.
He says over 500,000 people died there, all for 5 miles of mud.
Fucking yeah.
It's literally 5 miles of fucking wasteland.
Yeah.
And all them boys who were fucking all thought, yes, the King George or whatever, you know, he wants us to do it. Bollocks.
When you read it as well, the most annoying, the most infuriating thing about it was it all could have been avoided. And what it led to, and because World War II never happened if World War I didn't.
No, that's it, yeah.
And we've never really recovered from it. No, none of us have. Not just Britain. You just think, what the fuck was it all for?
Oh yeah, the world was divided up after it, wasn't it? And it's
but again, that chorus, you know, all through that, though, in the center of hell, but the thought of home is what got them through it.
Yeah,
and just that sort of light, because it's a dark song, you know, even with that you know, and then that again, that really dark dun, 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 dun,
yeah,
you know, and then it starts again. But during that, again, Bruce's singing is
it's on another level, isn't it?
Far away, you know. And the strings, because they didn't just come straight out with the strings come in later, so it just it just elevates and elevates, and just that
reaches a crescendo, doesn't it? And
that
it's like
bright fault in the middle of it all is what got you getting them through it. Is what it's just it makes you feel like you're flying. It's just brilliant. And when the strings get more prominent with every chorus, and then he got at that final chorus, he actually starts going up and starts singing. And when they do it live, Adrian at that point backs him up.
Match him, yeah.
It's just, it's a masterpiece. It's just absolutely fantastic piece of work. And I mean, fuck Dance of Death. This is
what is it? Fucking 8 minutes 27. I mean,
you've got 3 epics, No More Lies, Dance of Death in this. And I think this is the fact that Dance of Death will probably still get played today and this one didn't. It's just, yeah. I think this is up there with Hallowed Be Thy Name.
Yeah, I'll be with you on that. It is one of Maiden's finest ever songs, and you know, I don't think anyone in their right mind can deny it. Even if they go, "Oh, this album's shit," it would be
Passchendaele.
What's that?
Yeah, but Passchendaele, they'll go, "Oh, right, I'll give you that one." But I think we've got 3 songs to go yet. So.
Yeah, and coming out of Passchendaele, we get into a song that most people couldn't even tell me what it's fucking called. But it is, as far as filler tracks go, most bands would fucking cut their arm off to write this, Facing the Sand. It is the keyboards on it, fuck me. I mean, it is Dream Theater, eat your heart out, mate. This is an anthem and a half. And
I don't know what the fuck. What are you? How dare you describe this song as filler?
No, that's what I mean. But
I think it doesn't get the love.
Song. No, I'm not calling it filler. It's not one of those songs that people go to. It's not like your Passchendaele or your title tracks and all that. It's there, and most people would skip over it. But it is one of the finest pieces of music they've ever fucking written. And this is that. I remember I challenged you for that first last week.
Yep. I know where this is going. There's actually 3. Bollocks. First album with an acoustic song. First album to feature Nico writing, and then this one. First one, double drums.
Double pedal, yeah. And it is so heavy.
When it kicks in, it's
and the way it builds up in stages, and you can
you got the repeated riff again. Do you remember when I said, you got in X Factor, you got that on Lord of the Flies, but then when Judgment of Heaven, the same riff kicks in. This has the same melody to from Dance of Death.
Yeah.
Is that? But then that and it's got you got a bit of
builds up
Sign of the Cross in there as well.
Yeah, the old clean strumming and all that, and then
this introduction I think could be used in a film.
Yes.
Think Lord of the Rings. Think of a battle.
Yeah. Oh yes, definitely.
I mean, yeah. That. Speaking of abortions, I know you disagree, but Game of Thrones. But when you can just imagine the battle, and then you can see them coming over, and then during that music, and they're getting closer and closer, and the intensity.
Yes,
and you can just see that. Do you remember in Braveheart as well when he's going hold?
Yeah.
Hold, and they're getting closer and closer.
Yeah.
Hold.
Yeah.
And then back, and then when he go, that's when the drums kick in.
And the keyboards, fucking, how heavy is that? I mean, it's just literally drums and keyboards, and it's crazy.
I think more Game of Thrones or Lord of the Rings because I can picture like the sky, like a fiery or purpley dark. Yeah. You could do a bit more with the backgrounds rather than like if it was set in our world. But it's just the hairs on the back of your neck, absolutely stunning,
frightening, isn't it? Frightening.
And
this is another one. I mean, this is talking about the versatility of Adrian Smith. He's just done fucking Passchendaele, and now you've got this completely different beast.
Yeah,
completely different, but fucking ridiculously. It's so monstrously heavy and dynamic. And talking about Nico using a double pedal. He used to call them undrummerish, for which he has since apologised. But you can play this on one pedal, but it goes on so long, you wouldn't have the stamina to do it. You have to switch out to the double kicks, and it's not exceptionally fast. He's played faster beats per minute on one pedal. He did on Ghost of the Navigator during the solo section, but it's the constants of this. You have to do it on a double pedal, and that's why he's used it, because even he's realised, fuck, I need to utilise this.
Yeah.
But then you have this fucking amazing music with the keyboards and all that, so heavy. And then about when it kicks, it just stops, drops out completely for the solo, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Dun, 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 and then it kicks in with his solo, and it goes to another level again. And fucking hell, I mean, what a song. And it's never even been thought about to be played live, I bet you.
Yeah. Well, I think it's because he doesn't use a double pedal, does he?
But imagine this with the orchestra doing the keyboard.
With that big drum kit, surely just another pedal down there by your right foot. You can fit that on somewhere.
Yeah. I mean, don't. You know, it would be awesome.
Yeah, I mean, and again, it's an unusual song for Maiden, and it's something I wish they'd explore a bit more because this is a very dark, very intense song.
Maiden have never been.
And again, another soaring chorus, and again, we were just saying about how what a waste it was for Passchendaele and how what a fucking con it was. But then this is about the Gulf War. Yeah. And Bruce is clearly getting his lyrics are clearly angry about that as well. Because again, that was another fucking fiasco. And I'm not an anti-war, No,
I'm not. But you got to don't sell it on a lie.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
There was enough legitimate reasons to go out there. You didn't need to make any up.
Yeah.
So, for fuck's sake.
And again, it just went on and on and on, and that's the thing with it. But anyway, it's podcast.
But no, this is a fucking great song and
an amazing song. Yeah, totally underrated. Again, there's so mmany hidden treasures on this album. And this is another reason why I wanted to do this series to go through
bring these to light. So because they're just no one to fucking know about them, would they? If you don't bring them up. I know we don't get that many listeners or views, but I hope the people who do view it will look at this, look at these hidden gems, and go, "Fucking hell, yeah."
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? If we influence anyone on it, fucking please listen to these songs because they deserve to be listened to.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. And again, I think when I become a benevolent dictator, I will be getting Maiden right. You will now be on 90% tax, until
you do this.
You do a concert with an orchestra,
and you play this set list.
Yeah, and this set list, then you're free to go, and you'll be tax exempt for the rest of your careers. But until then, 90%.
Yeah.
I do think they should do a tour as well with playing strictly songs that have never been played before.
Oh, that'd be great, wouldn't it?
And this is on there. In fact, I'd take 5 songs from this album on there. Yeah. Anyway, so Face in the Sand, totally underrated, totally overlooked. Yeah, the band are blamed for it as much as anyone else. Yeah, definitely check that song out.
Yes, please.
And someone somewhere use it on a film because I think it could be used as a
film. It would be brilliant. Yeah, that intro.
What was that one with Orlando Bloom?
Oh,
I want to say Last Battle, but it wasn't called that, was it?
No, fuck it, Kingdom of Heaven.
Kingdom of Heaven, yeah, something like that. That'd be cool. Yeah. Underrated film now, actually.
Yeah, I've never seen it.
Yeah.
So
I think they just made a series of it as well, haven't they? Something like that. You're more up to date with what's going on in there.
I'd have to check it out because, like I said, I've never seen it.
I think Kingdom of Heaven was genuinely a bit crap, but then they released the director's cut, and it was like,
there we go. Yeah, all makes sense now.
Yeah. So right, moving on
to another. Speaking of making sense, what doesn't make sense here is there's a song with Dave Murray's name next to it, and it isn't one of the best songs on the album.
Excuse me.
See, we're going to differ it. Yeah, I mean, I'm not shitting on it. I like the song, but I don't go to it. I'd go to Rainmaker before this.
Oh no, okay, but this was a song that was like, oh, I'm really glad because I said last week I'm not quite sure of this album. I'm looking forward to reassessing it.
Yeah,
and the fact that I've rediscovered Face in the Sand and Age of Innocence as that's been the payoff for me because I think these are two great songs.
I'm not shitting on a song at all. And again, it's another one that's got one of them earworm choruses.
Yeah,
but it doesn't need to be 6 minutes at all in any way. I didn't realise
it was 6 minutes
in any extension of the universe. But there's a running theme through Dave Murray's later songs. He's fucking angry at the state of the country and the state of the world and injustice and stuff like that. He really doesn't.
Did he write these lyrics? I think Steve wrote these lyrics.
Well, it might be Steve, but it might be Dave. But it just seems to be all Dave's songs, because Dave wrote Justice of the Peace, which is pretty much the same song.
Yeah,
not musically, but lyrically.
Yeah, I was going to mention that actually. Yeah,
he's an angry man, old Mr. Smiler, if he does indeed write the lyrics.
Yeah.
But it's I say there's some great music in it, but it's not one I go to.
I think it's a great rolling. It's just a great straightforward rocker, with a really good chorus. Again, sometimes you don't need the big elaborate things. I've said I really, as much as I do like the later part of Iron Maiden, and I do think this is actually Iron Maiden's creative golden age.
Yeah. Big time. That starts from round.
Yeah, but when people talk about Metallica, it's like, oh, you're just stuck in the past. It's like, no, but it's not. And I put the album on, I'm struggling to get into it, and and then I put Ride the Lightning on, which before we started recording, I said I know that song in my sleep. I know that album in my sleep at the moment because my son's got into it. But again, it's just like, this just works. It's effortless. And I don't have that problem with later Iron Maiden albums. I don't have to go, I don't have to pull my brain out and go, oh, is there something wrong with me? Have I got to rewire my head in order to get this because I'm not intelligent enough? No, there's nothing wrong with the old stuff. It's timeless. Yeah. My fucking 10-year-old prefers Ride the Lightning to fucking Self-Destruct, whatever the fuck it's called. Because good music is good music. And again, with Iron Maiden, I don't have to struggle and argue and debate about what's wrong with the album.
The thing is with Maiden, you've got it's almost like two different bands. You've got
one thing.
Period with Bruce. Well, it's almost like three different bands because you got a period with Bruce, you got the Blaze era, and you got this Reformation era. And the Blaze era's got more in common with this later era.
Yes, of course, yeah.
But musically,
we've said this era actually started with X Factor. So
if
you praising these albums,
that proggy
shit on that album, then you're a bit of a you need your own work.
Exactly, yes.
But they do like an epic, and the epics are fine. But I do wish there was a few more straightforward rockers. And this this is one of those songs. It's like, yeah, this is great. I mean, it's got a bit of a Murder in the Rue Morgue introduction. It's just, again, it's not even got an elaborate riff. It's just good.
It's just a straight away, isn't it? You know,
lyrically as well. You know, much like Justice of the Peace. Anyone, you know, I'm like, you know, it says about. I agree with everything he says. He's completely right. You know, when someone breaks into your house now,
and that's nearly 20 years ago,
you're not even allowed to fucking grab a weapon unless the person broken into your house has a weapon. Did you know that?
Yeah, I did know that. Well, that's
so someone will come into your property and they get to choose. Yeah, they get to choose their weapon first.
Yeah,
and
the guy on the farm, wasn't it, who shot the intruder?
Yeah.
Was that about this time? I probably was.
Yeah, roughly. I don't know if it's directly about that. I
can't even think of the guy's name. I do apologise, but yeah, basically,
I know the guy's name.
Guy broke into a farmer's gaff and he bit off more than he could chew. Then the farmer shot him, you know, intruder in your home, and he went on trial for it, didn't he?
Well, what happened was as well, they actually done it a couple of times, and every time he rang the police, nothing happened. And he even went, next time I'm going to take it into my own hands. So, yeah, there was that. I don't know if I should say his name, just in case.
No, we won't. But, you can read about it on the internet. But
yeah, there was even one recently where a guy, he grabbed a knife and stabbed a person. That broke into his house while he was asleep, by the way. Fought one. But yeah, there was a big thing about that. And it was like, is the guy got no rights? You know, they were laying flowers like a monument outside his house to the guy that broke it. Yeah. But again, what I love about this song is that during the verses, you can really get fucking wound up when you listen to the lyrics.
You can, yeah. That's it, yeah, because you agree with it, don't you?
But it's just perfectly balanced with this great uplifting chorus.
Yes, it is. It is like you say, it's complete.
It's a really inspiring song because it's basically says to me anyway, you just got to look in the mirror and go, well, I'm not getting affected by this. The world is corrupt and it's fucking unfair and it's you know, but I'm not going to be taken in by it all. And I think that's what the chorus is about, rising above it all and just
take a breath.
And it's a really uplifting chorus as well. And I'll quickly read it out because I think it's so we only get one chance. Can we take it? We only get one life. Can't exchange it. Can we hold on to what we have? Don't replace it. The age of innocence is fading like an old dream. And it's true, you know.
Yeah. Another brilliant chorus.
Yeah, and I think it's a genuine... And that's someone who can buy their way out of it.
Yeah.
You know, because let's face it, none of them are short on a couple of quid. Even they're thinking... I used to walk up the park and climb trees and all the rest of it. Now I'm a little bit apprehensive about letting my boys out because you don't know what's going to happen, you know. So, no, great song, great message. And even with that aside, it's still a great song. The lyrics could have been about football.
Yeah.
Have they ever done a football song?
Yeah, well, Weekend Warrior was about hooliganism, wasn't it? But not,
Because even Slayer did Scrum.
Scrum about rugby, yeah.
Yeah, and it was nah.
Yeah.
I want to hear about Death Camps, Hell.
Yeah,
I don't need Slayer singing about fucking football. Yeah. But anyway, right. So we've reached the end of the album.
Yeah, we have.
Journeyman.
And again, it's another.
It's been a journey this album actually. I mean, X Factor we've not quite hit the 2.5 hour mark.
Yeah, but no, it's I didn't help going off on one about emo and fucking.
Yeah, we did have a bit of an intro,
half hour. Yeah. But we talked about Adrian Smith's versatility earlier on, and he goes and fucking pulls another one out of the bag here.
Well, apparently...
Passchendaele, Facing the Sand and Journeyman. Fuck me, can you get 3 different songs?
Yeah, well, apparently this was meant to be a B-side, and then when someone went, why don't we do it acoustically? All of a sudden, boom, that's when the song...
Yeah, because the electric version is on the one of the singles. I think if it's on the No More Lies EP actually, the full electric version, and it sounds good.
Yeah,
this version is really good. Like the album version, you see why they went with it.
Yeah,
and Dickinson even said we battered the listener for like an hour. Yeah, we wanted to do something a bit different to end it, and they actually played it live, didn't they? it was the first encore song.
Yes.
They all came out with the old stalls and all that shit, and they had a bit of a banter and a bit of a laugh and introduced everyone.
I'm just looking at the singles now. Rainmaker, you had Dance of Death, the orchestral version. I mean, in all fairness, when they do the orchestral concert, they will have to do Dance of Death. Yeah. I'll probably appreciate it.
Like it then, yeah.
And then, you got more T Vicar.
Yeah, fucking don't even bother. Fucking is wrong.
And then No More Lies, you've got Passchendaele orchestral version and Journeyman electric version. So when's
what?
Oh yeah, there is a hidden track, which the song Age of Innocence.
Age of Innocence, how old?
With Dance of Death. It's ad-libbed vocal performance from Nico.
Oh, it's fucking hilarious, mate. It's actually on YouTube. You just type that in and it'll come up. Yeah. But it's fucking funny. But no, I mean, Journeyman. I mean, what a beautiful bit of fucking music.
Yeah, I mean, I think we was on one episode we were talking about. It was on the metal show with Gully and Joe. You joined us and we did Euthanasia, and you said the Toot Them On. You would be at your funeral.
Yeah.
I think this is a good funeral song.
Yeah.
I think that this lyrically is up there with My Way by Frank Sinatra. I know that's a cliched song, but sometimes it just works.
It wasn't a cliche when it was written, was it? It was
and I think if you do have the luxury of knowing your time is coming, if you can listen to that and reflect and go, this is a good song. I'm quite. Then you've lived a good life.
Yeah.
And I think the lyrics to this song is on parallel with that.
Yeah.
And not only that, it's a nice change for Maiden to do an acoustic song.
It is, I mean, the closest you ever got was Prodigal Son, wasn't it? Really, with the acoustic guitars and obviously Wasted Love.
Yeah, a little bit of. It reminds me a little bit of "Change of Heart" by Bruce Dickinson as well.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah. Well, obviously, Adrian has always credited saying he learned so much from Roy Z.
Roy Z. Yeah. Who's Ed?
He said he learned so much about guitar playing from that man, which is crazy when you think what a great guitarist Adrian Smith is.
Yeah.
But another thing, he's humble. He's like, no, I learned so much from that guy. Most people couldn't even tell you who he fucking is.
Yeah, that's the problem.
Adrian's the man. I love him. And but no, this song, this is a beautiful piece of music and heartfelt, beautiful lyrics as well. And
yeah,
again, and when they do the orchestral concert, this is another one nailed on.
Yes,
in fact, this is their most of the set will come from this album.
Yeah, I mean, and not only that, they did it live. It's almost on a conscious decision. It was, again, it was like, they've never done an unplugged concert, but they came out and all sat on chairs with acoustic guitars and
that was brilliant.
And did it separately, yeah. And again, Passchendaele, never done again. That never done again. That was a great concert, and
it was, and that's why I like. A lot of people don't like Death on the Road, but I think it's one of their best fucking releases, one of their best live releases.
Yeah, I believe so as well. I think it's definitely gives Rockin' Rio run for its money.
It does
definitely.
I mean, people fuck it. I know people going about Live After Death, but no. Rockin' Rio.
Is it the best live album ever? So, no, it's not even Maiden's best live album.
No, it ain't. Yeah. Exactly. It's right. Yeah. These two by far are definitive live recordings, and it's no secret no coincidence that it contains some of these tracks. And this is an album that people, out of all the Reformation albums, this one gets overlooked.
Yeah.
But there's so much good stuff on here.
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
I mean, we've disagreed on what good stuff there is, which tells you how much good stuff is on here, depending on what you listen to.
Mm.
I mean, I've rated the title track as one of the greatest fucking songs I've ever written. You would like to see it bombed out of existence. And where I've gone, Age of Innocence is, yes, all right, but nothing special. You're like, no, fucking hell, this is brilliant.
Yeah, this is one of my favourite, one of my new favourite songs. I mean, I think that's Public Enema #1. Is it Judas My Guide on Fear of the Dark? There's that other one on Fear of the Dark as well. That one.
Childhood's End.
Yeah, that's another one I've discovered.
Yeah.
Nomad. I found a newfound love for Nomad and Thin Line Between Love and Hate. And Facing the Sand, Age of Innocence. I always liked Passchendaele, but not hearing it for a long time and hearing it now, oh God. But yeah, even Gates of Tomorrow and New Frontier I like as well.
Yeah, they're just good upbeat fucking songs, aren't they?
Yeah.
You know, and like I say, this is an album. I think every chorus, aside from Montague, that can fuck off.
Yeah.
But every chorus on this album is just a complete. You killed to write a chorus like this.
Yeah, and this isn't Brave New World Part 2 either. This is a piece of work on its own as well. As much as that was a milestone in their career,
they've learned from. It's almost like, because some of Brave New World was left over from Virtual 11. They've written together as a band, obviously for Brave New World, to finish it off, but they've grown as a band again in the couple of years where they've been touring to produce this.
Yeah,
and you'll notice it, and when we get there, A Matter of Life and Death, I think, is a culmination of this journey so far.
Yeah.
That is insane, and
yeah,
but I won't spoil for when we get there eventually. But
no, I think this is an overlooked album.
It is big time. I said, I used to say, out of all of the Reformation albums, this was the worst one, but I might have to reevaluate when we eventually do it.
And that's another great reason why I want to do it. I wanted to reevaluate some things, and the main thing that fucking lets it down is epoxy artwork. It's a shame.
Yes, it is. It's a bit of a bummer. I mean, it's
and the most annoying thing about it is that it isn't actually bad.
Like, no, that's the thing. It's just not what you.
When you look at some of those Halloween albums, is it Pink Bubbles Go Ape or the one afterwards where it's just a couple of thingy like painted lines?
Crap.
It's like that's crap. But it's like, no, but this could have been good. That's the most annoying thing about it. Yeah.
But I've shot myself on this. I'm gonna. It's an 8 for me. It would have been a 9, but Montague it ruins. And but no, this is a fucking high 8.
Yeah, Montague does. I could do without that song. Dance of Death. It's not a bad song. I just don't like it, but I know it is good.
Yeah.
And I kind of know I'm in a minority of that one. And even that song does have some good stuff in it. It has its redeeming features. But apart from that, it goes from epic to underrated to hidden gem to epic to And I think. Even after Dance of Death, Gates of Tomorrow onwards, it's a winning streak. That second half of the album, I think, is fantastic. And again, Passchendaele is just a masterpiece. And Facing the Sand and Age of Innocence, I think, are two really good, really great, underrated songs. Especially Facing the Sand, it's so dark and atmospheric. And then you've got that beautiful Journeyman at the end as well. So, it's a good 8 out of 10 for me as well. And the two little blunders that I could live without, the rest of the album more than makes up.
Yeah, mate, it does, yeah. Yeah, big time. Yeah. So we've been there and we've done it, mate.
Right.
Like I say, it was... And I was looking forward to this because it was like the one I didn't really sort of go to aside from the 2 tracks. But no, I'm glad I did.
Right, well, I think we'll wrap it up.
Yeah,
after that. Yeah, I am as well. Yeah, I'm glad I've reassessed this album. Thanks for watching. If you made it to the end,
yeah,
they're always long, but it's a podcast. That's what we do.
That's it.
Yeah, if this is your first show, welcome aboard, and feel free to go back and listen to the other ones. Again, this is a companion piece to listen to all the albums. So do the journey yourself.
Yeah.
Either use it as an introduction or an afterthought. It's entirely up to you. Give us one of them. I hate begging, but
Yeah, please, yeah.
It really does make a world of difference. And if you could give it a share, that'd be great as well. But yeah, that was Dance of Death. Next week we're catching up with Blaze again.
He don't fuck about. There's the old Blaze. He's fucking churning them out.
Blood and Belief. Week after that, we'll be doing Bruce's Tyranny of Souls, and then the next. Well, let's not give anything away.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
The A Matter of Life and Death. I've got it on my list here as Ammo Lad. I'm going. Is that a side project? Is that a band? Ammo Lad. Matter of Life. Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, I had to do a bit of a double take there. But yeah, thanks for watching, everyone. Have a good week, and we will see you next week. Take care.